Yesterday, I said today would be a signal day. I said that we had the bullish bounce, but the follow through I was looking for was not present. That the rally looked disjointed and that there was an opportunity for bearish reversal. And I was looking at the RSI mostly when I said that. Today, we did have a signal and it was bearish, and this does put the bearish reversal on hold. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going down to new lows. It does mean, though, that we're probably going to see a few bottom tests in the index funds and AMC before continuing to move higher or push downward. And thinking about what happened last week, I realized that I had a good analysis, I had a price target, and I traded it, and that's why I was successful. And I didn't lose money until the bullish continuation didn't show up. And now I'm thinking to myself, if I want to be able to make another successful trade, I need to know what my chart patterns are, what my analysis is, and what my price target is going to be. And currently, I don't have that. The market's now beginning to waffle back and forth. So I'm going to wait for a new chart pattern to emerge until I get a clear trend, and then I'll make another trade. So I'm going to put the day trading on pause. I'm still up 400%, and I've only given back the gains I got from the bullish reversal, and I've kept the gains that I made during the downtrend. So all in all, I don't think I'm doing that poorly. I think it's just that I had an exceptionally large gain on the bounce. So I've got my head back on straight, I think. And with that, I want to get into the technical analysis. I'm going to start on IWM. You can see the daily chart pulled up here, and I did have some lines drawn, and this is just supposed to identify what bullish continuation would have looked like. We would have seen an upward breakout of this downtrend, which is actually the top of a descending broadening wedge. We would have seen the price drop back down to about that breakout level or that trend line and then push higher. That would have been our ABC, our 1, 2, 3, a measured move up, whatever you want to call it. This move would have confirmed a bullish continuation, and today we did not get that. We got a big dump. It was a big dump, and it was a hard dump. The RSI is now turning down sharply, and volume was actually at the 30-period average, which is a big deal, because volume has been abnormally high for a couple of weeks now. So to see this much sell-off is very notable. It's a signal. Implied volatility is now coming back up. I think that it's very possible to see the price continue down to that $170 level and bounce around there for a while before making a decided move one way or the other, up or down. Currently, price is still in a downtrend. It's still in a downtrend. I do want to say, though, that we're going to bounce up and test this downtrend before finding new, major lows, I should say. But I don't know. We're going to have to wait, watch, and see. For the time being, there's probably going to be a push lower to that level. So this candlestick pattern isn't super bullish either. It's actually quite bearish. I thought it looked like a below the stomach. Bulkowski says that this candlestick is an inverted variety of the above the stomach, only the below the stomach does not perform as well. He says below the stomach acts as a bearish reversal of the uptrend. He says just 60% of the time. Just 60% chance that that's bearish reversal. Well, it looks pretty bearish to me. And there's a few ID guidelines here that we can look for. Make sure we have the right two. Yeah, upward price trend, great configuration, great. So this candlestick pattern will confirm valid once the price closes below today's low on the IWM. That was 175.10 cents. So just a minor red day tomorrow, and that would confirm and signal more downside on IWM. Of course, the ascending broadening wedge does have a price target back at the top of that pattern. So that would be up here towards this trend. I can really see this kind of a move happening further down the line off of this low and forming a topping pattern above this downtrend before moving to new major lows. So it's just a waiting game at this point. The markets are in consolidation. I do not think that anyone has a clear idea of what's going on. Look at SPY. We had that weird bullish hammer in the middle of that pink zone, and that was bullish. It really was. But like I said, it looks feeble. There's a lot of gaps here, and that's exactly what SPY was thinking too when it fell. Looking for that gap fill. Definitely closed that gap. So there you have it. Now there's a gap up here to fill. I did fill on, well, I guess it's not really filled because today's wick would have had to push up to this opening level, and it didn't. So that makes me think that the price will move back up here, and that does support the idea that we'll see a test of a floor and then a bounce higher. The RSI did make a decidedly turn downward, and the volume again above the 30-period average, which is pretty significant. Implied volatility is now rising. The SPY does look more bearish, positioned more bearishly than IWM now. And I don't know if we have that same broadening descending wedge pattern. I can look for it though. Yeah, that line's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna need to make that a solid line and then give it a color. That's just, okay, what color should I make this? I have such a hard time with the colors. Let's make this ugly orange color. Here we go. So maybe I can just take this low and then pull it back and say, you know, it's basically the same pattern. It's possible that it's just a downward channel, but I don't think a channel best describes that movement. I mean, it's really clean up top, right? But then that lower line, yeah, it could be just a downward channel and not necessarily a descending broadening wedge. The descending broadening wedge would generate a price target, you know, towards the top of the pattern, but a channel would not. I don't know. It's looking scary because this is possible that the markets will just continue to dump, and I have a price target on SPY in the high to mid 300s. I don't exactly remember where it is. I'll have to go through my charts and figure that out. The 404 target was reached a while ago, and that continues to be an important support and resistance level. The bearish target for the right angle and descending broadening formation has already been reached, of course. So I'm gonna have to do a little digging here and try to figure out where that price target is. Now that's interesting. What's that retracement pulled from, I wonder? Let's have a quick look at that really quickly before we move on to AMC. Oh goodness, is this like on a weekly time frame? I was pulling a yep, that was from the COVID low, the COVID crash low. The 61.8% levels at 380.39, and you can see the price almost touched it, and now we're kind of heading back down towards that level. So I wonder if we're not going to come back in lower, see if we can get a 50% retrace at 350. Seems likely at this point. When you look at the chart in this context, this little dump, this is a little dump. Like the bearish sentiment here, I think, is so overstated. The RSI is just starting to come towards oversold on the weekly. I think that if we can get a push down into oversold, that might give us a little bullish momentum to make another pop higher, and that might be just a corrective pop. Again, who knows? It's not looking great though. It's not looking great. Economic data isn't looking very supportive either. Looking at the daily chart on AMC, now this is where it gets interesting. We have a similar descending broadening wedge, and we did have a bullish breakout here of this downtrend, but look at that candle. That is one hell of a wick, and that volume is pretty high. You can see that the RSI is now starting to flex downward below 45, very bearish. Implied volatility actually increasing at this point. That looks nasty. That looks nasty. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. It doesn't look like we're going to be making a bullish reversal based on that candle action. When I turn on my 15-minute chart and my price mirror drawings, you can see, you know, this I thought might be a roof, and that would have a price target towards 16. I've been saying we should see a run towards $14. We did, and the price just rejected off of it. This now looks more like a V-type bottom, which is what I originally suspected it was. And if it is a V-type bottom, then the price target would be at the top of that. And I believe this is it. We've seen it. It's filled. It's done. So now we're looking for a new trend and a new pattern to trade. Of course, if I had held the options I had purchased on this day and just held them, I could have sold them at a higher price. So I'm going to be working on that, trying to figure out how to make longer term trades based on my analysis. I do like the day trading, but maybe that only needs to be a portion of my trades. Nonetheless, you can clearly see that the price is now back below the downtrend. The primary downtrend is here. It's very possible we're going to see the price test that level. And if it drops below it, then the price is probably just going to continue to tank. I'm going to turn on the 1 minute chart now and we can see what's there. Turn on my day trading charts really quickly. Day trading, here we go. Oh, no, don't enter properties. Don't, stop it. Stop it. Do the thing. What? Okay. Yeah, so what happened today? I was trading up through here, and I wasn't doing too bad, and when I was at break even, I said, you know what, forget it. I clearly need to take a break from day trading because something's different from last week to this week, and that is a really solid channel or trend and chart pattern with price target. So I'm just going to sit back and wait. I think AMC is going to move into a rectangle. It's probably going to bounce between $12 and $14, maybe $10 to $14 for a while before picking a new direction. And until I see that new direction, until I see the price break out of 14 or dump below probably 10.50, I'm really going to stay on the sidelines and watch. That has so much value. I think I need to jump into trades intermittently and not continuously. Like I said, I'm still at 400% and I still have all the gains from the trend downwards. So if I can just continue to make money on that downtrend, that'll be okay. I don't feel like I'm missing out much on this upside, although I am. I know I am. That's okay. It is okay. Now, when the price reached $14, a double top formed. Nasty double top. And right here, you can see it. I was in my Discord, and I'm starting to stream my charts, these charts live. So if you want to see those, go ahead and join the Discord. You have to have level 2 role in order to talk in channels and message, and that's by design. So if you are a long-time follower and you've been watching all these videos, let me know in the YouTube. Maybe I can promote you once you are in the Discord. I do want to build the community. It's going to be a slow process. It's certainly not going to be an open door, everybody come in and just flood the place with memes. It's going to be a more, I want to say, refined? It's a classy server. Anyway. So this double top broke and the price fell down, and there was a small corrective trend, and then boom, the price just continued to fall lower and lower until this big moment in time when the corrective trend that was started from the low last Thursday broke. And you can see the price did try to pull back up and failed a couple of different times. And today that closed, that's pretty bearish. You can see ending the day in a rectangle there. I saw that earlier. So this probably means that tomorrow at open, we're going to see an attempt to recover this downtrend. I don't really think we're going to see a big bullish reversal on today's lows. I think that we're probably going to see bearish continuation more than anything else. You can see volume was pretty light. And something else too I said is that I didn't like that the rally started with Powell and that the volume was still relatively low. And sure enough, that rally was fake, and this is nasty. This is a bull trap. This is clear and simple, just another bull trap. We've seen a ton of them in the last, I don't know, 6 weeks. I do want to look at one more chart here. I'm calling it reversal progress because this is where I have the downtrends to beat, the uptrend to hold, and the levels of support and resistance kind of filtered out a little bit to the most important. So you have these green dashed lines here. This would be the uptrend. You can see the price is clearly below that now. Now those downtrends are pretty low, and it is possible that we're going to see a consolidation pattern through here. I'm going to go ahead and clear this chart off because I am looking for a new pattern. And typically I can find those on the 15-minute. Now we have a few days. There was a pennant through here, and that pennant appears to have broken. That would be right, it would be right here. And the target for this pennant was like 1050, I think it was, when I calculated it. So this is like a false breakout, doesn't it? Now the price is right at the apex. Right at the apex. So, you know, this is tough to call. Really tough to call because did it break out? I don't know. Is it going to break down lower? It really could. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it did, but, you know, I'm going to need to see that first before I trade it. And I probably won't trade this pattern. It is appearing like the last half of a downtrend. It looks like a pennant. It kind of has a V bottom or a roof look to it. It's weird. So I'm going to sit back and let other people decide which way this goes, and then I'll hop in once the direction's decided. I'm at 13 minutes, which is kind of long. So that's what I have. Happy trading.